happening. Uh, yeah. It's like I got this motto. It helps me like calm down, man. Calm down and listen. Don't let the don't let people provoke me. You know what I'm saying? Into acting crazy or overly trying to be overly persuasive or like worried. Like listen, like everyone's got to agree with me. Like I'm the center of attention. Like I am the prophet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta resist that type stuff. Keep yourself in check. You know what I'm saying? And then, hey, I mean, if you start losing it, hopefully you got a support system where someone has enough sense to snap you out of the trance. You know, like it's like, listen, I wish instead, the world doesn't need more hypnotists. The world needs dehypnotists. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I mean, and things that have been mystified need to be just demystified. Though, I mean, and if anything that remain that be mystic, and it wasn't just a magician's trick to make something hidden seem mystic when it's not. It's just concealed and basically hidden on purpose. Like, look, I have this saying. You know, I was listening to this Mark Passio dude on an Alex Jones show earlier. You know, and it was like a lot of this. I mean, I made that video, moral relativism, and I didn't realize I must have heard it from him before. You know, because I don't know where I don't even remember where I recall that, but I know what it means. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like self evident, but I mean, if you play with that, you know what does moral mean? And relativism. If you understand what relativism is, how like Einstein, time with the woman goes fast, in the boiling hot water it's slow. Things can fluctuate on the person observing them. You know what I'm saying? So if this person has no morality and you want to speak to him about his understanding of morals, you're going to get something totally twisted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, though in his mind, it might make perfect sense. I mean, and all you got to do is, look, self-preservation. That is a strong instinct. You know what I'm saying? And I guess most people are afraid of death because they don't know God. You know what I'm saying? And another thing they're taught in these Masonic lodges that, look, you got to get all you can get. The works of your hands is all you got. Survival of the fittest. Self. Knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? Basically. But I heard him, talking about, he made this saying about power. You know, and I had a similar saying before. And it's just funny. You know what I'm saying? To listen to that dude. Uh, I mean, he's got a decent agenda. I mean, he's still hesitant to even say the G word. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot. I mean, but yet you'll acknowledge there's a force, the creator force. You know what I'm saying? But why can't you just go ahead and say it's God? You know what I'm saying? The creator. But I mean, that's fine. Whatever, dude. You're still exploring things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against that. But I mean, it just kind of sucks because these people have an understanding that there is something beyond us. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to totally, you know what I'm saying, accept that there's something beyond us. You know what I'm saying? You'll entertain it, but then you just don't want to. It's almost like a person who's afraid of commitment. I mean, I got a buddy Drew. He's actually a big fan of this Passio guy as well. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've studied a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And he is dropping some pretty accurate occultizing information. But I mean, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like on the Matrix. Look, this is the Matrix decoded guy. Some people ain't ready to get unplugged, man. And look, that'll turn them up the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And dudes will go crazy with that information because kind of like by de-occultizing things, you're also you're making people aware that, look, the magical aspect of things, and it's dangerous because, I mean, from my own experience, or even like you watched that movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats, like that's a reference to the Baphomet, people who stare at the Baphomet. Scary because, I mean, look, I also can relate a lot to a lot of things these guys are saying too, because it's like, I guess it's Isaiah. Look, I will be like the Most High, and these people are hitting, like, listen, in the same areas, man. It's weird that it's just a inversion, but yet it's still an inversion of something that's real. You know what I'm saying? And the inversion is real as well, but it's a lie though. But it's still a lie of something that's real. It is crazy, you know. So that's, it's dangerous. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, all right, these, a lot of people follow this philosophy. You know what I'm saying? It's don't hate, educate. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get past hate, you know what I'm saying? Grief, striving, vain strivings. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, getting your pride and your ego all involved. I mean, that's one of the things. They love to pump that flesh, that ego to death. You know what I'm saying? Or it's crazy. They'll use that against you. It's like that witch and Hansel and Gretel. They kept feeding them and feeding them and feeding them, trying to get them fat so she'd eat them. But they kind of perceived that's what they're doing. That's why you don't want to let them pump your ego. Like my dude earlier, what's his name? Unplug him. He's like, flattery, man. Watch out for flattery. That's the same thing. They're pumping you up. You know what I'm saying? It's the witch. She's working up for a magic trick. But hate, wait, don't hate, educate. You know what I'm saying? The best. That's the best strategy right there. How can you hate on that? You know what I'm saying? How? What? What is your moral basis to hate on that? Don't hate, educate. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But no, somehow they'll speak evil of that, and that just goes to prove you. It's like, who's declaring what's right and wrong to you? But you know, like GI Joe, knowing is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? Which is, to some extent, there's some realness to that. But I mean, everything you can know isn't necessarily a good thing. So I mean, look, once again, there's a false, like, pedestal knowledge is put on. You know what I'm saying? Because though it's good, but like everything, there's an evil usage for good things. Love is good, but if you love money, what good is your love? You know what I'm saying? That you place your love in something that doesn't deserve love. It's not even living, though it can get you living company for a time. You know what I'm saying? It can make people seem like they care about you, but it's not. It's a magic trick, dude. I mean, and that's what money is. It's a magic talisman sigil. It's sigil magic, and it's a talisman, and it's like a group energy harvesting tool mechanism. Uh, but back to the knowledge is power. You know, I heard this. I mean, I can't remember what Mark Passio said of his exact thing, but what I would say, this is how I describe it. Listen, knowledge is power. Knowledge concealed is very powerful. But knowledge shared free and openly, you know what I'm saying, is most powerful. Because it truly is. That is the way that people mutually have a shot. It's not in just like, listen, not that you could boast of your own liberating, but the fact that a liberation was yet provided somehow. And it was beyond you. It's beyond even the people that actually tried to help liberate you. It's a force beyond that. It's not Satan, you know what I'm saying, or the devil doing it either. You know what I'm saying? It says, you know, in Daniel, How could Daniel interpret Nebuchadnezzar's dreams? Because he says God is the revealer of secrets. So, I mean, look, I don't care how many deep, dark, I mean, dope ass Jedi like, you know, uh, smoke and fire and lightning you guys got. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, listen, Babylon, Egypt, and all this is so revered by the Rosicrucians and the Masons and all that. Yet, the best magicians in Babylon, they had all the magicians of the world, all that Paragathan, all that Kabbalah, all that witchcraft, all that paganism, all that Wicca, all that Druidism, all that alchemical, all that science. It was there at the time when Nebuchadnezzar snatched up Daniel. And all these magicians couldn't match him. And today that would be the equivalent of all your academia, the Nazi scientists, and coupled with Tesla, the Russian scientists, all of China, Japan, all doped up on all your technologies, all that. It's like, look, somehow this connection to God is beyond all of this earth has to offer when it comes to wisdom and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and the beginning, what is it? The beginning of wisdom is the fear of God, or is it the beginning of knowledge is the fear of God? Something to that extent, though. And this means respect, reverence, like a child feels towards its parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, listen, God knows that it's in man's nature to rebel against his parents. So even more so for mankind to rebel against our creator. You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of us do, you know, we might fight it. You know, we try to fight the you know it is, man. It's like, you know, we have kind of been taught to love ourselves and hate ourselves. So therefore you kind of love and hate those people that have the closest ties to you. You know what I'm saying? So you have a tendency just to clash. I mean, it's almost like it seems supernatural that it's crazy, but it's like magnet, or like people are too similar, man. It seems to rub them the wrong way sometimes, you know. But you know, you got that parable there of the prodigal son. You know what I'm saying? That's something we all got to remember. We've all been given more than enough, and we've probably, in most cases, squandered it. Just because you're sitting in abundance doesn't mean you didn't squander it, homie. You know what I'm saying? Or just because you're sitting in poverty doesn't mean you squandered it either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's weird. But I mean, it's a deeper understanding, man. But I mean, you know it's true. When you see, can't deny it. There's just all kinds of just empirical evidence aside from universal truth, biblical truth, philosophical truth, historical truth, mythological truths that you can extract from them because they're fables, so it's deceptive. You know what I'm saying? In its nature, because there's a lot of imagination and misinformation, misinterpretation, loose interpretation before it got to you. So I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's just like Indian. Listen, I come from the Indian culture. You act like Indians weren't philosophical just because they didn't have writing. That's why they were the greatest orators around. It's just they didn't have the proper interpreters at the time. Now you can look back at the things they said and they were like, man, they were pretty smart for being the wild, simple sons of the forest. You know, it's because they kept every record by speaking it. It's kind of like, listen, just like, listen, the before you could become a Jew, you had to learn the Torah word for word for word from memory. This is a common theme out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like once you can recite your history from memory and write it, or speak it again, now you're qualified to teach. You know what I'm saying? Because you done can prove you by your work. Uh, you know what I'm saying? You can exercise that. Look, I had enough faith to pursue this through till I can recite it from memory. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a gradual progression that it's a unit. That's a universal thing. It's like the scholars of China too. But I mean, listen, schol- scholarly philosophical pursuits they always lead to unfulfillment and doubt, question, wondering, more striving, more insanity, searching after chasing these ghosts, that we create through our imagination, imagining that we know, or even taking what we do know, but then missing, the obvious, man. This over speculation, having too many, just too broad of a spectrum of things that, I mean, by stretching them, they might seem to connect. No, sometimes they don't. It's just, we have that. It's once you start connecting dots, it's like a connect the dot picture. If it wasn't numbered, in a proper order, you couldn't make the picture. But with the guide, the picture kind of comes out. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I mean, it's difficult. I ain't figured it all out yet. I mean, I only one dude. I'm only I ain't even doing this my whole life. Not like I am now, anyway. But uh, it's. I mean, unless I ain't seen it yet, but uh, the only way I've ever heard about people being downloaded information, there's two ways. There's the dark spiritual forces, like demons. The word demonos or something like that means knowledge. It comes from Greece. So they were aware that Paragathon 5-point star, it can conjure demons. You can conjure demons with it. And there's some kind of mathematical, it's like a gateway. You know what I'm saying? Spirits are attached to symbols and sounds. And maybe ritual as well. But you can get it from that. You got this your ascended master. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically it's the fallen angels that are trapped in the earth, in the mountains, in the desolate places. That's why people like Aleister Crowley would go to mountaintops and out in deserts, because there desolate lands where like people, it's hard for people to live there. Though they can, it keeps a lot of people from being there all the time. So that's the best place to put things that you want to keep away from people. Though these things, consciousness, see, that's why they get you so hooked on consciousness. Because these things, that's where they get you. They jump into your consciousness and they influence it. If you, it's like the kung fu. Empty your mind. Don't do anything. Then these things can pick up the control. You know what I'm saying, for a second, because your guard's down. Though it is good to kind of listen. Relax your brain, because it's never quits. Even when you sleep, it's still going. It's got to control your non-voluntary body mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? So it is good to exercise on relaxing the mind, but don't let it get too relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get hijacked. And it's from these ascended masters, dude, which are, in my opinion, the fallen angels, the watchers from Enoch. They're not interplanetary beings, or not as they're presented by your ancient aliens, uh, alien savior, serious guys. I mean, I just I don't believe in that right now. Right now, I'm into multi-dimensionalism. If you can tap multi-dimension, what's to say you're not here? And the multi-dimension goes to Mars, right? So I could hit this wormhole, go into this other dimension, go to Mars, pop out the wormhole, I'm there. Oh, I'm from Sirius. I mean, how do you know? Take me there. Take me to your leader. I want to talk to him. I want to ask him, well, how does he feels about Jesus? What does he think about the Bible? Boom, that's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you gotta try them spirits. You know what I'm saying? To make sure who sent them, where they come from. Uh, but it either comes from that, then the angels will be sent to people. Sometimes God will come. He'll send a like an omen, or he'll have direct communication with certain people that can. It seems like they have a they're righteous, but then again they're human. You know what I'm saying? So see, God knows that, so He allows a certain amount of, you know what I'm saying, a room for error and room for improvement in mankind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, it'd be nice if we could be perfect, but only through His help and assistance and us diligently clinging to instruction, which is hard because our instructions have been so messed up, man, and misrepresented, man. It's hard now to. It seems so complicated. You know what I'm saying? But you can see that the references. You know what I'm saying? Throughout time. So God Himself. You got angels from God. God's angels. They will not accept worship, and they will explain to you. Look, came from the Most High. I mean, so, uh, and then you got actually, through the Bible, it'll give you enough understanding alone that you'll have an understanding of these things. And then if you search outside of the Bible, you will run across the same exact themes over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're talking about, listen, even the dark side, they understand what we say. It's kind of like, listen, oh, you believe Jesus is the Son of God? Even the devils believe and tremble. So, it's, look, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, that's a good start. You know what I'm saying? But there's more than that. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, man. That's it's about the best way I can break it down, Ski. But yeah, man. Keep on you know what I'm saying? Hammering at the bricks.